Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I am going to discuss about standard deviation of group data. What is a standard deviation? Standard deviation is a number used to tell how measurements for a group are spread out from the average. A low standard deviation means that the most of the numbers are close to the average, while a high standard deviation means the numbers are more spread out. Let us proceed to the formula for standard deviation of group data. So S is equal to the square root of the summation of F times the square deviation over n minus 1, where S is the standard deviation, X is the class mark or midpoint, F is the frequency, N is the total frequency, and X bar is the mean. So let us solve this example. The following are the height of 50 students from PLM expressed in inches. Solve the standard deviation. So the first column we have the heights. This is the class interval. Then we have the F, which means the frequency, midpoint or class mark, which is represented by X, and Fx, x minus mean squared, and F times x minus mean squared. Now let us get the midpoint here in the third column. So to get the midpoint, you are going to add the class interval. So 60, 64. So that means 60 plus 64. The answer is 124. Divide it by 2. The answer is 62. So our midpoint here is 62. Next, we have 65 and 69. So 65 plus 69, we have 134. Divided by 2, and we have 67. Next, we have 70 plus 74. So we have 144. Divided by 2, we have 72. Next is 75 plus 79. So 154. Divided by 2, we have 77. Last, so 80 plus 84, we have 164. Then divided by 2, we have 82. Okay, so that's how you solve for the midpoint. Now let's proceed to Fx. So to get the Fx, just multiply the frequency and the midpoint. So that means 6 multiplied by 62. So 6 times 62, we have 372. So 372. Next is 13 times 67. So 13 multiplied by 67, we have 871. 870. Next is 15 times 72. So 15 times 72, we have 1080. So 1080. Next is 12 times 77. 12 multiplied by 77, we have 924. So 924. Next is 4 times 82. So the answer is 328. So let us write 328. Okay. So next is you have to add all the numbers here to get the summation of Fx. So the summation of Fx is equal to 3,575. Okay. So before we proceed to x minus mean, we have to solve for the mean. So in order to get the mean, kailangan natin ng summation of Fx at saka yung n. So burahin muna natin yung mga nakasulat. Okay. Let us solve for the mean. So, mean is equal to summation of fx over n. So, our summation of fx is 3,575 over 50. 50 is yung n. So, our mean is equal to 71.5. Okay, we can now solve the x minus mean or the deviation. So, x, this is the midpoint. And mean, ito yung 71.5. So, 62 minus 71.5. So, we have 62 minus 71.5. The answer will be negative 9.5. So, negative 9.5. Next is 67. 67 minus 71.5. The answer is negative 4.5. Next is 72. 72 minus 71.5. The answer is 0.5. Next is 77. 77 minus 71.5. We have 5.5. 5.5. Next is 82. 82 minus 71.5. The answer is 10.5. 10.5. Okay, so we have the deviation. Next column is the square deviation. That means you are going to square your answer here. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, i-multiply mo siya by itself. Kung negative 9.5, multiply by itself. Okay? So, burahin muna natin yung mga nakasulat. Okay. So, we have negative 9.5 multiplied by itself. Negative 9.5 is equal to 90.25. So, our answer here is 90.25. Positive na siya. Okay, next is negative 4.5 times negative 4.5. So, we have 20.25. 20.25. So, next, 0.5 times 0.5. We have 0.25. 0.25. Next is 5.5 times 5.5. The answer is 30.25. Okay. 30.25. Next is 10.5 times 10.5. We have 110.25. Okay, so we're done with the square deviation. Let's proceed to the frequency multiplied by square deviation. So that means yung mga values dito sa frequency, multiply natin sa mga values dito sa square deviation. Okay, let's erase muna to. Okay, so we have 6 multiplied by 90.25. So 6 times 90.25. We have 541.5. 541.5. Next, 13 times 20.25. 13 times 20.25. We have 263.25. 263.25. Okay, next. 15 times 0.25. 15 times 0.25 is equal to 3.75. Next is, okay, sulat muna natin, 3.75. Okay. 12 times 30.25. The answer is 363. So we have 363. Next is 4 times 110.25. The answer is 441. Okay. So next step, kukunin natin yung total nito. So ang tawag dyan is summation of F times the square deviation. So our answer is 1,612.5. Okay. So we can now solve the standard deviation. Okay. Erase muna natin to. Okay. So the formula for the standard deviation is S is equal to the square root of the summation of F times the square deviation over n minus 1. Okay. So S is equal to, the value for the summation of F times square deviation is 1,612.5 over, our n is 50. So 50 minus 1. Okay. So S is equal to the square root of 1,612.5 over 49. Then, divide yung nasa loob. S is equal to the square root of 32.91. Then, our standard deviation is 5.74. So, this is now our answer. Okay, visualize natin kung gaano ba kalayo tong 5.74 sa mean. So, lagay natin siya sa number line. Okay. So, yung mean, siya yung nasa gitna. Okay. So, the standard deviation is 5.74 units from the mean. So, ganyan siya kalayo sa mean. Or ganyan siya kalapit sa mean. So, pag mababa ang standard deviation, sabihin yung mga data ay malapit sa mean. Pag malaki yung standard deviation, ibig sabihin yung mga data ay malayo sa mean. Okay? So, that is now the standard deviation. Thank you for watching.